is Law Nation Sports. Let's continue to grind and shine. As the room fill up, we're going to talk about various topics. And on top of that, we're going to talk about Pro Bowl. No, not Pro Bowl, but Hall of Fame snubs. That's what we need to talk about. Yeah. You guys already know how this thing goes. We are the most hated. Granted, the Dallas Cowboys are who people say they are, huh? The most talked about team in the world. I don't know another team that's talked about more than the Dallas Cowboys. But let's get it. Players and systems. The next move for them. Plus more. Mama said there'll be days just like plus more. This. Mama said there'll be. Come on. As the room fill up, be sure, and I mean just that, be sure to hit that like button. Let a friend or a neighbor know where to go when they want to tune in to Cowboys Sports Talk and beyond. Let's go. Come on. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. What's up, y'all? What's good? Appreciate each and every last one of you all for tuning in. The name is Law Nation. I really appreciate you guys so much for being part of this. Salute to all of the mods. I really appreciate you guys and thank for all of the support. Now, the Cowboys will not be playing this weekend, by the way. And I think a third of our issues will go away as far as the pain, right, and all of the misery, because now we can look into, hey, we're heading into a new season collectively, and everybody will be off. And I get it. Anybody that's watching right now, you got to be a diehard fan, right? You can't just be sitting back chilling right now, because if you are a diehard fan, you watching right now. But if you're casual, you're going to be sitting back saying, you know what? I got golf I can start watching, Bass Pro Fishing. I can start rooting for the baseball teams, basketball teams. But when you rolling right now, shoot, you rolling. And I ain't talking about the other stuff. But, you know, we say all the time, man, all the Cowboys got to do is make a few moves here, make a few moves there. And then this is what Jerry Jones say. And this is why we've been saying, hey, we want to get back to what we were 30 years ago. Here you go.
I ain't trying to be like 30 years ago. I ain't trying to make no comeback. I'm gone, and I want to stay gone.
He want to stay gone. Appreciate y'all, man. Die hard since 1967. Appreciate you, Roger. Appreciate you, man, so much. Thank you, Akeem, for jumping in, and appreciate Sadiq. I really appreciate you so much for what you do for the nation, and she's always here spreading out the good stuff for us, man. I really appreciate you as it reads here, Law Nation Salute. I really thank you so much for that, you know. Sadiq, let's go, Cowboy Nation. Appreciate you so much. Order of topics. The Dallas Cowboys going into this year, already people are saying the things that they are saying, that this team will not do anything. Well, you got to allow the offseason to still do its thing, and you got to get into the draft. You got to get into a lot of things. But I was listening to Rich Eisen. Shout out to him and what he brings to the table. I think that he got a wonderful showcasing there. And we're going to jump right on to that, and then we're going to talk a little bit about the Pro Bowls. I keep on saying Pro Bowl. God dog. Hall of Fame snub. Let me talk about that first. Let me get that off my mental then. Y'all know Darren Woodson, right? Y'all know who he is, D. Woody. And I truly believe that D. Woody should be a guy to be considered a Hall of Famer 4 years ago, maybe 5 years ago. But let me pull this up right quick. And I had this comparison analysis of him and Lynch a couple of years ago, and I started to look at both of the careers of two. One is considered a Hall of Famer, and the other one is considered not, right? Now, what's the difference? I need to know. I want to know. Woodson, 3-time Super Bowl champion. Lynch, 1-time Super Bowl champion. 4-time first-team All-Pro. Don't y'all know All-Pro is different from being Pro Bowler? That's probably why I kept on saying All-Pro. In 1994, 1996, 1998, 1995, 4 times. And all I see for Lynch is 2 times. Do y'all say 2 under him? You know. And let me slide this up once again. So we looking at it like this. 5-time Pro Bowler, granted. Lynch is a 9-time Pro Bowler. Okay? He's in the Tampa Bay Ring of Honor, the Denver Broncos Ring of Honor. He had won the Bart Starr Award. But when I look at my guy Woody, Pro Football Writers Association, all rookie team in 1992, Dallas Cowboys Ring of Honor, and he also himself in 2002 got the Bart Starr Award. And let's look at the accolades and situations, tackles, line for line. I think that this dude got 1,300 tackles. Lynch got 1,000 tackles. My guy even got touchdowns. He got 2 touchdowns. I don't see that on my other guy's resume. 23 interception for Woody, 26 interception for Lynch. I'm looking at forced fumbles as 11, and I'm looking at 11 quarterback sacks. So you mean to tell me that the reason why Woodson is not in the Hall of Fame is because he didn't get 3 more interceptions? Or is it because he didn't get an extra 2 to 3 more sacks? Is that the reason why he's not in the Hall? Y'all need to let me know. Somebody, the voting committee, the steering committee, let me know why one guy is in the Hall and the other guy is not. I'm not sitting here saying that John Lynch is sus or trash or anything, but I need to know why. Can somebody put down in the chat why my guy is not in the Hall? I need to know, because this is kind of crazy to me. It's very crazy to me. I want to know from y'all why Darren Woodson is not in the Hall. There should be a riot right now of why you let Lynch in and you didn't let Woodson in. And I'm not sullying or denigrating Lynch, but I'm quite sure he would love to have 2 more Super Bowls. I'm quite sure he would have wanted to know how it feels to be a 4-time All-Pro versus being a 2-time All-Pro. You know, I want to know. Bruiser says Lynch wasn't as good. Right. Here we go right here. Lynch wasn't as good as Woodson. Definitely wasn't. Got Coach Marv with a super chat. He says simply bull sugar. Let me hear that one more time. Simply bull sugar, y'all. It got to be bull sugar. Because if anybody think that's just what it is. It's bull sugar. Let me just pull this up again for those who just not tuning in. And people be saying, nah, Law, they don't hate the Cowboys. They don't hate the Cowboys. They do. They hate the Cowboys to the core. They hate the Cowboys to the core. It's like Madison. It make them feel good. It make them feel really good to hate on our beloved team. Here we go right here. There we go. Jay Lombardi says the voters have a hate against the Cowboys legends. And you're right about that. You're flat out right about that. When we look at this. Now, shout out to DeMarcus Ware for getting in there and Chuck Howley. Well, we really appreciate them and what they did for the Cowboys organization and franchise. But they had to get one other person so that they can say, hey, this is what it is. This is what we see. They want a reaction out of Woodson. They want him to beg, just like Drew Pearson. They want him to be like, they ain't going to get me again. No, they ain't going to get me again. No, they are not finna get me again. Hope all is well from you, JT. Put your prayers together for him. All right, so let me get into this audio because I don't have a lot of time. I hope all of you guys are well on this beautiful Friday. You know how it is. This weekend, if you are in the Dallas area, we will be actually at the walk-ons at the Colony on Super Bowl Sunday. I will be there around 5 o'clock. I would love to see y'all faces if you guys can get out there. I got another one for you, Harvey Martin. Yes, indeed. Need to be there. Yeah, they want Mo said, and I thank you for your support, Coach Ma. Thank you for what all you do for the nation and beyond. I appreciate you so much, Coach. Thank you so much. All right, let me pull this audio up right quick that I think that Coach will really like. And I think Coach been talking about this for a minute on this team and how they operate and how they go through certain things and parameters. So give me a few seconds here. Let me pull this up. This is my guy, Emmitt Smith.
Of this team is still intact. We can obviously use some upgrades in certain spots. The problems that I saw in our Dallas Cowboys this year probably was twofold. I think in today's game, you have these offensive coordinators that are brilliant offensive coordinators, can't take much from them, but they're trying to do too much and trying to do too much too soon. In other words, they're trying to run almost 80, 90 plays a game, which most of that is all passing. They'd rather see a quarterback throw the ball 45, 50 times a game versus having a well-balanced offensive machine, because the Cowboys is an old-school organization. Mm-hmm. Quit trying to move them forward into the future and let them be this run and shoot, pass happy offensive team and everything. And no, forget that. No, that's not us. That's not who we are. That's not what has won these trophies that we're talking about.
What do you think of the current state of this team?
So that was Emmitt on the current state of this team. And that was Emmitt talking about, hey, I get all of that. And he was on Rich Eisen's show, shout out to him. And he was talking about the way this team operated, just too rushing, not in the sense of running the ball, but rushing, hurrying up things. Sometimes you got to sit back and relax, be consistent upon your approach, and let's not rush things too often. Not in the fact of running, right? And the Cowboys were doing that, and that's water under the bridge now. That's one excuse that you can't bring up for the 2023 season. Why? Well, we got this thing called Mike McCarthy is going to call plays. And shout out to one of my guys, man, sent me this information via the Twitter, and I'm going to pull this up, whereas Mike McCarthy was talking about players versus systems. And yes, indeed. This is from Coach Marv. He says, yes, my brother. Go Marv. Appreciate you, man. That's his fraternity, brother. Yeah. So here's the truths right here, ladies and gentlemen. Let me pull this up about Mike McCarthy talking about players versus systems and how he liked to see a certain thing. Now, bear with me. Let me pull this up right quick.
There's times, and every coach is guilty of it, where you talk about the scheme, our offensive system. This player has to do this, this, and this. And the system, to me, isn't worth anything if any player can't fit into your system. You have to have a system that utilizes any talent, any player that becomes available to you. If not, you're not maximizing your resources. So I think that's a very basic general approach that we've all can be guilty of. Don't think of plays, think of players. And that's something Marty Schottenheimer taught me as a young coach, and I never get too far away from that.
He said never get too far away from that. All right, so let me break this down. We breaking down the whole storyline so that we can understand where we need to go. A lot of people say, well, Lord, that was in the past. Well, we got to understand the past in order to know where you're going, right? If not, they say history will repeat itself, right? And you'll make the same mistakes over and over again. Here's the truth of it, ladies and gentlemen. The Dallas Cowboys utilized this dude by the name of Kellen Moore. He had his unique thoughts about the game and how it should be played. Do I leave Mike McCarthy off the fray for this? No. Because as the leader of this team, he should have stood tall and said, you know what? In order for us to get to this set of circumstances, I got to get rid of that. I got to get rid of this X, Y, and Z. But he didn't. He watched the kitchen on fire, and he let the kitchen stay on fire. So, granted, I think that if he were to intervene and if he were to step in and say, all right, cool, this is what I'm going to do, won't you move out the way, then he would have cut his legs off from under his feet, because you're battling against higher management. You're fighting against Jerry Jones and John Stephen Jones, because they feel and they believe that they are ultimately football guys, and what they're saying is, hey, the truth. What they believe is the truth. What they think is right. Everybody else is wrong, right? So that's just what it is. So therefore, in order to prove somebody wrong, sometimes you got to allow them to burn themselves. You can see something that's hot and you can tell the kid, hey, don't touch it, it's hot. The oven is still on. Anything around the oven is still hot. Or don't put your hand in the socket. Don't put your hand in the socket. And some people have to learn the hard way. Some people have to understand that, hey, that surface is hot. I can't touch it, but let me touch it anyway, and it will burn you. Some people don't understand the reason why water is wet. Some people would say, no, water is not wet. Then they get wet, because they jumped into that. So that's just crazy how things go. Nevertheless, the Dallas Cowboys can't use that as a bevy of excuses for the 2023 season. See how I'm giving you guys objective analysis with this? Why? Because he said for himself he didn't like option routes, stop routes, etc., right? He liked a certain brand or a certain quality of route, right? He loved the West Coast system. Well, 2023, that's what we gonna run, West Coast, right? Dak Prescott, we're going to put you in comfortable situations, and we're going to make sure that we are maximizing what you do best. Whoever else we have on this team, we're going to make sure we maximize what you do best. Exactly of what I was saying last night with my boys on the final word. We was talking about, hey, Simi Fehoko, that same coach that I just played that audio from. He said that, hey, I want Simi to be a hybrid tight end. I want him to be that. All right, we got another super chat from Coach Marv. Man, you sponsoring this show. This show is brought to you by Coach Marv. Coach Marv says that Mike McCarthy's statement speaks of team identity. Identity is built off history. One, let me give him one of that. Boy, Coach Marv, you on fire today, baby. Mentality. Two, in a collections of assets. Coach Marv is on fire. I can break it down from here. I don't even have to use another topic line. The identity is built off of history, right? Mentality, a collections of asset. Here's how we can break this down. Growing up in a smaller city, like Natchez, Mississippi, population of 25 to 28,000 when I was growing up there. I would walk into a certain store and people would say, boy, you look just like Thomas. That's my grandfather, by the way. And it hit me. I said, okay, all right, cool. And he said, yeah, you look just like your grandfather. You see, my identity was associated with my grandfather because I looked just like him. Right? Now, the mentality part is brought to me by my grandfather, too, because we act in similar ways. Although he wasn't there for every moment of my lifestyle, I still had that mentality because of the identity that was associated from my grandfather. The collections of assets is something that I had to propel myself with, though, based off of the identity and the mentality that I grew up with. Some people believe that even if you grab a snake, that you can keep him as a pet and you can reach in that and you can reach into the space that you keeping him at and he won't bite you. No. The mentality of the snake, that's why people say, man, I don't mess with snakes. They're going to bite you regardless. And that is what the identity of the snake would be. Always a person that will, or always a thing that will bite you. So your identity is your identity. So what we broke down earlier this year is that the Kellen Moore's identity and what he grew up from and his mentality was always pass first. His collections of assets were the assets built off of the team that he inherited. You see, it's a reason why, boy, we could just talk about this for hours, baby. It's a reason why, tangible evidence that can show you these numbers here, that all of a sudden, let me move this away, Coach Marv, because you're on point with this one. That in 2019, 2020, and 2021, that this running back numbers declined. Why? He wasn't in a scheme or a system that fit his mentality, nor his identity. Because if you pick up Ezekiel Elliott and put him on the 49ers or another run primarily like a dominant team like a Cleveland Browns or something like that, I think his numbers wouldn't drop off drastically like that. I don't think they would. Why did they do that? Why did it happen? Because the change of identity, we never had a true identity on who we are and what we do. And I appreciate you for that, Coach Marv, for this information. All right, we got another super chat. Common Sense Lab with the $5 support says player, coaches, and ex-players are all fighting against front office. And some fans are blind to the fact. The fans are in an identity crisis. They are. They don't know who they are. And here's how the truth is with identity. You don't have to be blood in to be the identity factor and get benefits from it. You don't. You just have to be around someone for a minute. And even if you are under their study, right? You are studying under them. You're learning from them. You will pick up their traits. You will pick up their habits. You will pick up their mentality. You will pick up their ways. Law, do you have any word to that? Yes, I can go biblically. It was during the time when they came to crucify Jesus. And there was a guy that was right with him by the name of Peter. And he denied because he saw the forces of the soldiers and the mentality of them that they was coming to destroy and kill. But when it got down to the time for him to stand his ground, he was like, man, I don't know that dude. Hey, man, I don't know him. And then somebody recognized and they said, yeah, you do know him, man. You kicking it with JC the other day, man. You was. Nah, I don't know Jesus Christ. Nah, man, I don't know JC, man. I ain't never heard of him. Hold on, dog. Y'all even sound the same. Woo! Hey, they even talked the same, had the same language, and he tried to change up and switch up his voice. Nah, man, I don't know that dude. And then they said, hold on. They got the same flip-flops on, man. You see them sandals, man? They even dressed the same. And he was like, man, no, man. He started taking his shoes off, his shirt off, and everything, man. F y'all, man. He started cussing and everything. And then, you know, the rooster started roosting, and the chicken started clucking, you know. And then he realized, oh, man, I did serve my dude out, man. Oh, my gosh, man. Hey, man, I sold him out, man. But when you around somebody for a long time, right? When you been around somebody for a minute, you start dressing like them. You start talking like them. You even start walking like them. You know what I'm saying, y'all? Some of y'all are saying, baby, right now. You know what I mean? Y'all ain't gonna like me here today, but that's the truth. That's the truth. He was scared, huh? Keem said he was scared. But that is what... Sometimes you going to resort to the things that you learned from. You're going to fall back into the things and the ways that you said you wasn't going to do. But by you being associated and affiliated with somebody, you have the same habits. And what the Cowboys, and what I'm trying to tie into everything, y'all, we've been doing this the same thing. When I said that this offense been the same since 2007, y'all didn't want to hear me. Y'all didn't want to feel me. Y'all was like, man, Law, man, you ain't real, man. This ain't the same offense. And I said, shoot, just watch. 07, we was powerful in offense. Kind of fell off in 08. Kind of built us back up again. But we've been the same offense since 2007. Why you saying all the way in 2007? Jason Garrett, he was the offensive coordinator, right? And we see the same issues with this offense all the way back then, regardless of who the quarterback is, regardless of who the running back is. During that stretch of time, we had some good running backs, baby. We did. We had a good quarterback. We did. But the results were the same. Why? It goes all the way back to my guy, Coach Marv. Let me pull it back up. Boom. The Mike McCarthy statement speaks of team identity. Identity is built off of history, mentality, and the collections of assets. Boy, Coach Marr, man, that's a hell of a super chat right there, man. Ooh, you know, I appreciate you so much, man. But let's go back to some more audio. I got some audio from Slareth. He's going to say some things that is uncomfortable to the ear for some. But it's the truth. You know, Dak Prescott, he was inconsistent, right, in some games. And on top of that, so was the offensive coordinator. And that's what you get. When you get those inconsistent moments, you get these type of things. And if you got a blind leading the blind, of course, you're going to fall off into a ditch. Let's go.
Where's he start?
I said after the season, I feel like we're trapped. Like, you're not moving off of Dak. Has Dak hit a ceiling? Right. McCarthy's not going to call the plays. We're dealing with these idiots over here wearing green now.
Yeah. Listen, man, the Cowboys are still I think they're a really good football team. Dak just has to play with more consistency. And I think the other thing is you got to be able to take pressure off your quarterback. You got to give your quarterback some breathers. You got to give the really good coaches understand that you've got, your quarterback is going to be in charge and have to make the majority of all the tough decisions, 45 times during the course of a game, right? Can you take that down to about 25 times of stress and take some of that stress off your guy? A lot. And I think that's a big factor that Mike McCarthy and now Brian Schottenheimer need to look at.
Where's your sauce?
So he talked about taking stress away from your quarterback. And let me read this. Jerry won't trade for players unless they're soft. Dak, Zeke, Martin, Lawrence, Micah, CD, they all soft. Only soft players for Jerry. Oh, my gosh. Nah, they're not soft, but you are a byproduct of the system that you fall up under. Zach Martin. How many years Zach Martin been in the league, y'all? Can somebody put that number down? And he only allowed 5 sacks in his entire career. Now, if that's the definition of soft, then give me that. Give me nothing but Zach Martins. You know what I mean? And I'll take that. And we already know about the situation and scenario, about how other teams and other players see the Cowboys. And I think that we've been in a situation that we will buy into what the media is saying, right? And we would take hold and and give them credence that there's really something that we can all say, nah. Because if I play this right here, he don't think. See, you may think that DeMarcus Lawrence soft, but he don't. Let's hear this. Let me see if I can turn that volume up, though, because it ain't playing through. Here we go. Hold on. Here we boom. One way is Kenny Cat.
On my team, or have I played against? Played against?
That's an Eagle fan. That's an Eagle player.
Who talks trash? It got to be DeMarcus Lawrence. He's a very angry guy on the field. I just be wanting to give him a hug on the field. But yeah, he's pretty angry on the field. Yeah, he lets me know it too.
So perception sometimes can equals reality. But the reality of the matter is this right here. You may feel that he's soft, but lo and behold, that brother is far from being soft. I get it. The NFL is a hard sport, but going back-to-back 12-5 is not an easy task. And on top of that, winning a playoff game and something that we didn't really do in a long time on the road. We haven't won a road playoff game in 30 years. And to add extra, let me put some parameters on this thing. To add extras to this, we never beat Tom Brady, right? He was 7-0 against us. So what we had to do is overcome all of that on Monday night to turn around and play another team on Sunday, which they didn't give us the long amount of time. Because that team played the previous, that team played on that Saturday. That team was well rested. And I know it sounds like bevies of excuses, but until you play some football, that recovery time is everything. Hold on. I'm gonna have to have a timer because I gotta leave at 12:15. Okay, so that give me enough time. I got Coach Marv. Garrett had the identity of run, but forgot about our identity of the top 10 defense. In Cowboys history, we never played a Super Bowl or played in a Super Bowl or NFC championship without a top 3 running game and a top 10 defense. Facts. Oh, boy did his homework today. Oh, he did his homework today. Oh, my goodness, man. Put some respect on number 90. I feel you. Woo, that boy did his homework today. All right, so I got some enough time, though. We going to rock this one out. And we got to rock this one out because I got a meeting at 12:30 and I got to leave at 12:15. So I got my whole setup over here. So y'all bear with me.
So you ain't out here? You're not in no chili?
No, right now I've got this new app, The Stunt. And I don't know if you guys have talked about it, but this is for sports fans, The Stunt.
No, he's talking about something else. But boy, oh boy. All right, so let me get to the meat of this. We're going to talk about my guy, CeeDee Lamb. We're going to go over this right quick. Appreciate y'all so much for tuning in. This is CeeDee Lamb on his thoughts about the team and everything. Shout out to Dak Prescott for winning Man of the Year. Of course, we got some people to say some negative connotations about that part of it. I get it. You may can't stand the man on the field, but the man off the field is a whole different person, right? And I know I get mad at things too. I get very frustrated about teams win, loss, and situations like that. Everybody want to go to the barbershop and just talk their noise, right? And say, yeah, man, my team, blah, 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 right? And for over 27 years now, we've been saying, yeah, man, we got 5 of them, though. We got 5 of them. After a while, we go in that room and people like, yeah, but the 5-0 now, you got to blow them off, man. You got to blow that dust off of them. Yeah, I get all of that. But people get to the point that, they wish death upon people. They try to shank people over a football game. Ran Tad Prescott off the Twitter and off social media, right? And all he's doing is fighting and protecting his brother. And I get it. And I'm not even a Prescott. You know what I mean? Wait a minute. My last name not Prescott. You know what I'm saying? I don't dress like him. I don't look like him. Look how black I am compared to those boys. You know what I'm saying? Out of the night that covered me, black as a pit. That's me. Right there, that's me. But I get it, right? People get in their feelings. They get emotional about things, and they want to say, hey, man, I'm going to meet you up and beat you up, man. And they take stuff too far, right? They do. They take things too far in this modern-day keyboard warriors. And now you don't know whether or not you should take somebody serious or not. They had a active gun shooter downtown Dallas just yesterday, right? So you just don't know these days, man. You don't know. But I can tell y'all, man, at least I can spit it out to you all and say, hey, man, don't take things too far. It's good to joke with somebody, but don't put death wishes on someone, things like that, and threaten people online, But let's listen to what CeeDee Lamb got to say.
Back, right? There was a lot of talk about him there. It was a little bit of a roller coaster ride there. Right. Dak, the passing game, all of that. Where do you think his frame of mind is right now? I mean, do you think some of the scrutiny he gets is deserved? Like, how does that kind of play in the locker room?
I wouldn't say deserved. I don't think anyone deserves the criticism that he gets.
Yeah,
and I feel like
it goes too overboard.
They're crazy, bro.
Why?
Because if someone,
Why
I don't know. I mean, granted,
it's the Cowboys.
Okay, I get it. Okay, right. So if anyone. Dak wasn't the leading interception thrower or whatever last year. And I guarantee you, whoever was did not get what he was getting.
No, Matthew Stafford was, actually.
And he won a Super Bowl.
Right. The interception thing's overrated.
That's not, bro. Like, he plays a great defense, right? So, You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to understand, it's football. A lot of other people get paid to make plays, but the way that he gets talked about is crazy. Like, it's wild. Yeah. I don't think he deserves it. But
Does it affect him?
he'll fool me. I'm not gonna lie, because the way he comes in week and week out, regardless of the situation, it's all on. You can't think about last week. You can't think about last week. You got to focus on it now, and you got to do, be where your feet are. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And he's a big advocate of that. And I've learned so much as far as like letting the past be the past and living in the present. I've learned so much from him just off of how he's performed this year. You know what I'm saying? Just understanding like he'll go throw 2 picks here, and then the next game he'll give you 4 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy, bro.
And that game against the Buccaneers,
Right.
that was as good as he's ever looked.
Right.
That's the crazy. I mean, just seeing how the media react to Dak is one of the funniest moments. Quite honestly, it's just I don't say much, but I see a lot. Right. So
Yeah, right.
just looking, I watch how he play. Of course, I'm there, but I go look at the media. Everybody's Dak this, Dak that. After a good game.
Yeah, I got you. No, listen, we're ones that be there that are defending him a lot of the times going, we don't really
crazy,
get it.
Bro. It'd be, and then the next week I see the same names.
Right.
Kind of weird to me. Weird energy.
I hear you.
Yeah, he trying to keep it 1,000. The people that's on this show is Chris Sims, I believe, and I forgot the other guy's name. I think his name is Mike something. Let me see if I can find their name. Mike, that's all I know is his first name. I don't know his last name. But it's Chris Sims and Mike. So my thing is you can see that he's trying his best to defend his quarterback. And he sounds like a Dak apologist, right, for those who are out there saying, hey, man, this dude is an apologist. Let's listen to more what he have to say, though.
Yeah, there's a little hater going on there with Dak Prescott. I don't really get it either. We kind of
Okay, Psych, thank you. Common Sense, it said his name is Mike Florio. Florio, okay, that's Mike Florio, okay. Yeah, Florio, okay.
I think, and not to say he was perfect all year long.
Yeah,
we know he had some here. It goes overboard. All right, so let me ask you this, too, because this is something we talk about a lot as well. Like, your owner, he's awesome. We know that.
Absolutely.
But do you guys as, like, a team feel the pressure, that, hey, Jerry's getting older and he's getting desperate and, he wants one? I mean, we feel it, I feel like, in our business. Does the locker room feel it?
We want one for him.
I know.
It's not like we just going to go out here and be like, oh, yeah, we're going to blow this game. Sorry, fellas, it's a new season. We're just going to blow this game, and it's going to be in a divisional round again, so just get ready. Yeah, nah, that's never the case. But just always just being out there, understanding the situation. Like, bro, we haven't had a Super Bowl come through here since 1993.
Yeah.
I see this.
95.
5.
Yeah. I'll get you right. Don't worry.
No, I'm not even gonna snitch on nobody, but someone just told me
You
that.
93? Don't worry.
I was thinking 5.
Lots of money to be the expert.
I was thinking 5,
Don't worry.
but
It was before you were born, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. No, that was obviously well.
It was
before my
actually
time.
here in Arizona. They beat the Steelers, Super Bowl 30. I was here as a 15-year-old kid.
What?
Way to tell on yourself.
Yeah, like that?
Yeah,
I was 30.
I dig that. But most def, we got Dallas deserves one, and I don't think it's a city out there that really deserves one even more. I mean, we got everything we need. We have the players, we have the coaches, we have the plays. It's all about us going out there and actually beating whoever we play in the division round, move on, and then continue our legacy.
Yeah.
49ers each of the last 2 years, the final game in the postseason. Which one hurt a little bit more?
Second one,
Why?
divisional round. This is my first time.
Last year was a wild card, right?
Yeah. The second. I mean, they both hurt. Don't get me wrong. I hate
Right.
losing, and I hate not.
We hate
going to the big
losing over
game.
here,
It's
y'all.
the second time I've been in the playoffs and not been able to, get a stretch going and losing to the same team.
And they always say it hurts the farther you go, too. The deeper you go.
It does.
It's
'cause
just a lot
it's
worse.
Like
Yeah, free Michael Irvin, man. I heard he got a $100 million lawsuit out there against Marriott hotels. I'm a Marriott traveler too, man. I love Marriott hotels. I didn't know it was Marriott that he was in. Marriott always does a wonderful job, you know what I mean, on taking real good care of me and everything that we do when we get out there for these Marriotts, especially when I get out there to Oxnard Marriott, But he got $100 million against the people that kind of sullied and denigrated his namesake. So you guys make sure when we're doing these vloggings and things like that, we use the word allegedly, because not just him suing, Brett Favre is suing folks too for millions of dollars or threatening to take them to court and going beyond the fray there too. So these words allegedly we got to start tossing out there, because I heard Pat McAfee. He got served his papers. Shay Sharp got served papers of talking about Brett Favre and his situation, allegedly, that happened in my home state of Mississippi. Dak is, this is Coach Marv again. Dak is a very good level. Very good levels on. All he needs is experienced offensive leader to take him to the next level. To be great. Experience mentorship. Okay. I feel you on that, Coach Marv. I thank you so much for that.
Dracarys.
You know, pardon my hooked on funny guys over here. But I appreciate you, Coach Marv. I really do. He making that money back. I don't know if NFL Network was paying the brother $100 million, but shoot. I could use $100 million, though. You know, Law Nation would be on a whole nother level with this show. I need to go to that hotel, and I need to find that lady, too. If he win that 100... Breaking news, Law Nation was spotted in Arizona, and he also putting his name on that lawsuit for $100 million. Shoot, I need to find that lady. If Michael Irvin, the playmaker, get $100 million from Marriott and whoever was in the capacity of who he can sue for, and he breaks the bank for that, shoot, I'm going to go up in there and have me a few drinks, right? And somebody just had to guide me, say, hey, Law, after these few hens and after these few C-Rock shots or whatever, you mixing dark and white together, I need you to go straight to your room. But there's going to be this lady in the lobby. Let me know if you in the chat right now would take that heat right now. Somebody said, Riggs. Yeah, yes, indeed. You know, funny but not funny, but it is. Sure. Riggs, I would take $4 million right about now. Shoot. Brett Favre got exposed for being allegedly greedy. Don't just say greedy, because they'll come get you. Cardi B sued some YouTuber the other day. Last year, I believe, around this time. Shoot, she sued the mess out of them for not using the word allegedly. My daughter is a manager for Marriott Law. Ooh, Sadiqa, I'm going to remember that. Give me some of those Marriott points. Oh, my God. All Dak need is experienced offensive leadership. Yeah. And I get it. Some people said, I get what y'all saying. I saw the comment where somebody said, shoot, after 7 years, he need this and that. He need everything to be right. Yeah. Ain't no shame. Are there people right now banging on the table saying, hey, man, Matthew Stafford, it took him 14 years. You think Matthew Stafford is going to say, all right, I don't want to wear this ring because it took me 14 years. Now, I'm saying, if Dak Prescott going to be here for the 14th season, I don't want to wait that long, though. I'm being real with y'all. I think that, shoot, next year and the year after next, we got a good chance at this thing. We just got to play our cards right, man. But I'm not finna be sitting around here waiting for that long of a time. But when it comes, I would take it, though. If I were to tell you guys that in another 6 years from now, Dak Prescott will finally get the Super Bowl with the Cowboys, would y'all take that, though? I don't think you guys will. I would take it, but I wouldn't want it, right? 6 years from now, 7 years from now. 7 years from now, Dak Prescott will get his first Super Bowl ring. Would you take that, though? Let me know. Give me your honest thoughts in the chat, man. Let me know how y'all feel about that.
You're working extra hard for something that you're so close to. You know.
What about them is that gives you guys an issue? Like, what is it about? I mean, I know they're talented just like you guys are.
Right. I feel like that's the. If any team will match up with us, well, it would be San Fran. I mean, you go look at their roster, you go look at our roster. It don't get no better than that.
Right. A lot of freaks on the field.
Okay.
Definitely.
Since we're talking about that game, please explain to me what the hell was happening on that last play. What was supposed to happen?
I got a question. What did you want to happen?
Well, I wanted
a
touchdown.
All right, we were trying to get a touchdown.
All right, but I've never seen. I always call it the Stanford band play. You're familiar with the Stanford band play from the Cal-Stanford game, 1982.
Yeah.
Okay, but it never got going.
Yeah.
What was going to happen after Turpin caught the ball?
They really switched, right? So we had the coverage we wanted. They called a timeout because it was looking actually pretty good to get going, and then they went man to man. So as soon as we got the ball started, they made the play and it killed everything.
Right. It just looked weird because Zeke Elliott got pancaked snapping the ball.
Exactly. But Zeke was going to get taken out regardless. Zeke was a blocker. He wasn't even going to be a part of the play.
So where was Turpin throwing the ball?
Where was he?
What was he going to do if he hadn't gotten
tackled? He was going to
tackled?
beat Turp until Turp ran out of juice, and then we were going to just get going.
That's right. He's telling you to shut up. He was going to go as far as he could. He was going to toss that damn thing.
I love the idea. When I saw Zeke playing center, I love the
play.
idea, but Jimmy Ward just shut that down.
All right. Now is the important part. All right, I know you went to Oklahoma.
Yeah, you know it.
All that crap. That damn school. I'm so sick.
CD did get him, though.
You guys, all right?
Me too, because I thought CD was going to be like, all right, man, dog, that play was doomed. CD, politician CD, though, man. Come on, man. I'm got them CDs over there.
All right, but you're doing awesome playing football in the NFL. You're one of the best receivers in football, but I don't know about your game selling Old Spice, so let me see that go right now.
Man, come on. First of all, you're going to have a lot of people in your corner tell you a lot of great things, right?
All right. So that's the Old Spice part of it, man. All right, so let me get to this right quick. Appreciate y'all so much for tuning in. I had to re-up my chat box over here. But I wanted to get to these pieces over here about this team. And we got players again lobbying for other players. Now, I'm going to be 1,000% with y'all. If this happened, I don't mind at all for lobbying for Daron Payne, because I can literally see Parsons being even more of a dog, a beast, an animal. And he said, I like Daron Payne a lot. We need a big body. That's from Michael Parsons on the notion of should the Cowboys entertain. And I'm telling y'all, if the Jones family finally do this, you know what? I won't. You know how you be asking for things like, man, I want this, I want that, I want this, and then you complain when they never do it? I won't complain not one single time about the Jones family and their administration if they prioritize defensive tackle. It goes all the way back to what Coach Marv said, a top 10 defense and a number 3 rushing situation. That's how the Cowboys been winning. All 5 of their Super Bowls. And this right here, I can't say the whole word, but y'all know what I mean. You know what I mean? This right here, Ninja, this right here will be everything, because now I can look at it like, okay, we going into this draft and you can slide in another DB. You can probably look at a linebacker. I've seen people who y'all want. Y'all want Drew Sanders. That's who y'all would want. Name me the linebacker, because now you can honestly look into this draft and your front 5 or your front 4 would be solid. Who's the best linebacker in this draft that can fall to the 26th spot? Y'all let me know. Reading your comments now. Let me see what y'all saying, because I know y'all know. And low-key, technically, you can probably paint a world where you can say, well, we good at DBs now. Dayron Bland, with the mindset, you going to be on the outside. We got all offseason to figure out this nickel corner. Diggs, you on the other side. Izzy, you in the middle of the field. You want Troy Anderson last year? Who y'all want this year that's going to fall to the 26th spot at linebacker? I can't wait till we have linebacker week on the final word. They're not getting – come on, man. There's always somebody. There's always somebody to bust up Ray's Boom Boom Room. You know what I mean? You bust up Ray's Boom Boom Room, man. I'm trying to be happy about this. When we got a player, finally. This is the first time in the last 15 years that we get a chance to see a Cowboy player lobbying for a defensive tackle. Jay Lombardi says Sanders at 26. That would be nice. My guy says Drew Sanders went to Alabama, my Bama boys, but transferred to Arkansas because we used him as the outside linebacker, and he wanted to be inside. Check the tape. I can't wait till I look at linebackers tape. I can't wait. Bama boy Davis, I can't wait. Matter of fact, hit me up on the DMs on Twitter, man. Send me all of his clips if you get a chance. Yeah. Let Schultz walk, sign Payne. Easy peasy. You can let Schultz walk. You can not put the franchise tag out there for players. And if you need an extra $5 to $6 million, you can cut Jordan Lewis. No shade at you, Jordan Lewis. You still my dog, right? We got a good, strong 15 minutes before I rock. Coach Mar, but law, players saying it publicly just ups the price. Speak soft and make big moves. That's always been our problem. We talk too much. Yeah. or it can make the Washington team overpay, right? That price of pay can now be $25 to $28 million instead of 19. But I feel what you're saying. I feel exactly what you are saying. But at some point, we're gonna have to get us a big boy down inside. We can only fabricate pressure in the interior so much, and I think the world of Big Bo, but I don't even see Big Bo being a double-digit sack from the interior. I think he will peak at 4 or 5 sacks. I think he will peak around. That will be his highest sack total. Now, I'm not giving up on Osa. I think that Osa, what they call it, what Voch call it, off-season peanut butter and all of that stuff, and some Nestle Crunches and some milk, whatever, some creatine and things like that to get them mean. Yeah. What's Osa ceiling? Like 7, 8 sacks from the interior? But I can only look back at it and say to you guys, if we get a big boy like Payne in there, maybe he can become a double-digit guy. There we go. William Anthony. Yeah, Osa and Payne is a good combo. It is. Very, very good combo. Very good combo. Very good combo. Greg Berry says 4 to 5. Ill Machine says Osa is a solid piece. Bring in both Payne and Osa would be crazy. Yeah. I just seen the combination of Gallimore, and I'm not throwing shade at him. I just think that, you know, he regressed a little bit. I thought that he was going to at least give us like 4 or 5. I thought that was going to be the direction there in this rotation aspect of it, and it never came to. I think that we threw too much at Gallimore by saying, okay, we want you to bulk up, get stronger. And sometimes when you get bigger, you lose a little. Nobody asks Aaron Donald to get bigger, right? Just get stronger, man. Do you, man. Shoot. He an undersized defensive tackle, so he got the results. Charlie G, he says, win equals go all in. Eagles and Rams went all in and went to the Super Bowl. Jerry thinks his way works because 12-5, so he thinks that's a good enough to win. Charlie G, appreciate you for your support. When Jerry said he want to go long, right? Let me see if I can find this. When he said he want to go long with this process here, this is just how Jerry operates. This is how he thinks.
The plan of how they want to get to the Super Bowl. You saw what the Eagles did. The Rams got rid of all their picks. What is the Cowboys' plan to kind of get you what you need, another championship?
I'm reluctant, even though by nature I'm a wildcatter. Anybody that thinks I won't take a chance has misread the tea leaves. Think longer term, and I'm real hesitant to bet it all for a year. In essence, we're seeing a couple of teams that have had some real success putting it all out there and paying for it later in Philadelphia and Los Angeles. Don't think that doesn't pop my head and get my eye as far as doing it, and I know how to do that. That's pretty impressive to have 2 teams in the last 2 years empty the bucket and get to the Super Bowl. My point is that I do know how to take risk. They're absolutely right. We have been in the middle here for a few years. I like where we are right now.
Everyone's got a different plan.
So let me break this statement down to you guys. He's off with it because they didn't empty the bucket. They just made calculated moves. They're not tied into a long-term contract with Bradbury. And when you look at it, they fleece the doggone Saints to get Chauncey, right? Gardner Jr. and Hassan Reddick. That was a layup type of contract that they got him for. And when you look at everything, they got Sue and Linval Joseph for cups of coffee, right? The biggest chunk of their money came from A.J. Brown. But they looked at the landscape, and I hate talking about this, by the way. You know, it pains me. Because their philosophy, they started off just like us. They went and got a Zach Pascal, who is equivalent to James Washington, right? But they said that, hey, he's not enough, so that's why they paired up everything. The difference is when it was time to pay Dallas Goedert, they paid him 2 years ago, right? So they wouldn't be tied into the contract. Do you pay the man? Do you not pay the man? Is he good? Is he bad? Etc. So they just made more and better calculated risk. And that's why I put this out there, because former Cowboys head coach Jimmy Johnson says the Eagles owner Jeff Lurie called him wondering what Jerry Jones meant when he said that the Eagles bet it all for 1 year. And then Jimmy Johnson said, I have no idea. And you have to read the article. It's on Pro Football Talk, and where they go into more and more details. My thing is sweep your own porch before you talk about others, right? When you flying in an airplane too, the lady or the male, the flight attendant, when it's time for them to go over everything about the flight and the instructions on how to wear the seatbelt, and they talk about the emergency oxygen that falls out of the sky for you, they say, be sure to secure your own mask before you try to help someone else out. because you can't do nothing when you are lifeless. There's a reason why the windshield is bigger than the rear view mirror. You got to focus and concentrate where you going. And when you start talking things that you are not a part of and you have not been a part of, and this is not going off smoothly for those who want me to pillow talk y'all. This is not going the way you want to hear it. But the Cowboys need to focus and concentrate on themselves. Secure themselves, because we haven't been there. We haven't been there. In 27 years, we haven't been there. So we should be looking in observation mode and saying, okay, cool, this is how those teams are doing it. We need to figure out on how to copy that and repeat and rinse and repeat. You know, that's just the reality of it. Put your own mask on first. Figure out how you need to get to where you going first. You can't be driving looking in the rear view. You can't be driving looking at the neighbor's yard, looking at what they got on their front porch. Your front porch clean? That is the reality of it. That's what Baker says. Facts law. Because what I'm trying to say here, the Cowboys just got to make sure that we do the Cowboys way. But on top of that, you take a little piece of what they do. Don't have to take it all, because those teams that you may perceive to think that they are emptying the bucket, they are happy about lifting up that Lombardi trophy. Even the team that made it there, that didn't actually achieve the opportunity to get there. Because, Law, do you have any truth to that? Yes. The Niners are on a longer drought than us. But we see and we hear more complaints from us. Why? Because we haven't made it out of the divisional round. Charlie G says, I'm not buying Jerry Bullsugar. I'm sorry. He thinks drafting and bargaining players works because the Dallas Cowboys go 12-5 and 2 games away from the glory hole. So it works, you know. I know, man. I know. I feel you.
I want me some glory hole.
I feel you on that, Chief. But here's the thing. Here's the thing with this. By the league being a league of revenue sharing, you see, we've been felt with the pain in the last 27 years. The Jones family, they haven't been feeling the pain like we feel it, right? You know, he dodged phone calls and interviews all last week. Every day I was sitting in the mercy seat, right? Every day I was called upon, had people telling me X, Y, and Z about me, right? I'm getting the heat. I'm not out there on the field. I don't have my money invested in like them, but they go to the yacht. They get the chance to fly around and see the world from a different perspective. They making billions, right? I'm getting a few super chats here and there, but it only equates to billions of what they doing. And I ain't trying to sully anybody who's putting the money out there. But what I'm saying is collectively, in the last 27 years, he had a $2.5 billion workout facility being built. He had a $3.5 billion stadium being built. He had a helipad, a helicopter, a yacht. And he was introduced into the NFL Hall of Fame. Point out to me, y'all that's watching, where's his failures? You can't find it. The man is in the Hall of Fame. Jerry Jones is a legend. You know, the man got his own money. We go herders around here, you know. That's just how it goes, man, unfortunately. So we can be mad and angry and upset, and we can say, hey, man, I'm buying no more merch. Man, I ain't going to no more games. Then there'll be more and more room for the ops to get in. More and more rooms for the people that talk bad about us to really stomp on us even more. For real. And then on top of that, y'all, to be real 1,000 with y'all, They're making more and more money. They signed $111 billion with a Amazon TV deal. They forced everyone to get high-speed internet in order to watch it. You couldn't watch a game on regular TV. So there were people literally in rural areas upgrading their high internet speed and everything else just to watch our beloved team play. Or to watch teams play on Thursday night. Technically, I promise you those numbers didn't hit like they supposed to hit. But the NFL, they so smart and they so wise. In order for Amazon to parlay, they had to pay that money up front. Yeah, let me stop talking, boy. Let me stop talking before I hear that FBI come bumping in here. FBI, open up! Hey, okay, Amazon. Hey. Shout out to Amazon. Shout out to Ben. What is that dude's name? Benzo, whatever his name is, shout out to him. Shout out to y'all, man. Appreciate all of you guys for tuning in for this beautiful episode. As I depart from you all, be sure to hit that like button, share this content, and let a friend or a neighbor know where to go. Those who watching now, I know for sure y'all are diehard fans. Y'all can be doing thousands of other things on this beautiful Friday. Jeff Bezos, Jeff, right? Bezos. Elon is over Twitter, right? Mark Zuckerberg is over Facebook. Is that correct? I'm getting those names. FBI, hey man, hold on. I'm Law Nation, man. I don't mean no harm. Oh my gosh, man. Let's go. Cowboy Nation. On y'all way out, man. I know y'all some diehard fans, man. And I can't wait till after this weekend that we get at least some positivity going in one direction. The free agency will be here next month. The grand opening of the NFL season kickoff. Again, everybody starts off 0-0. Perry Locks, thank you so much, man. Oh my goodness. And shout out to Lisa. Thank you. Lisa, it will be at the Colony on Sunday. Walk-ons at the Colony. We'll kick off around 6 o'clock, but I'll be there around 4:30 to 5. So come on out, enjoy yourself. Wear a little red, if you can. I don't want to see you in no green if you can't come out. But I appreciate you. And still go Cowboys. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. They say a prize fighter, even when he's down, he continue to swing. Because he know he got a puncher's chance. Unless he's Nate Robinson, right? He was just laid out like Family Guy. But you got to keep your head high. If there's one thing a man should always do, it's mainly to himself be true. Never allow someone to change your point of view unless what they bring makes sense to you. Never judge a man by sight alone, nor by the height he has grown. And when speaking, keep it at a moderate tone, because raised voices turns hearts into stone. You see, in the beginning, it was brother, I would die for brother, ride with brothers. The morals of life, live love and respect for another. Then there are those who will try to be smart. They would take a decent man to alter his heart, to seek to rip him apart. Those man, no man should call a friend, because they bend lies around the truth until it meets their end. That's been my time, and I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Let's go. What love, y'all. I think you said you're going to still be wearing your silver and blue, baby. Yeah. That's what I love to see. Yeah. Appreciate you. I am awake. That's my guy right here. All season long. He been with us all season long. Let me just give him his flowers. Because there's a lot of Eagles fans that jump in after they win. You know what I'm saying? But this brother right here from another mother been here all season long. Y'all take good care of him. Much respect for him, right? Some people fold up like a wallet or a lawn chair, but he kept his same energy. Because he let me know. He said, Law, I'm going to keep that same energy, dog. I can just imagine you like this. I'm going to keep that same energy, man. And he did. Some Eagles don't, man. But he kept the same energy. But we going to get on up out of here. Because, hey, Sunday, if something else happened, it's going to be time. Y'all say it for me. Monte time. You better, you better do something. Let's go, baby. Boy, oh boy. I got some arsenal for y'all. Woo-hoo. Jay Lombardi, I tried my best. He said, don't hype him, though. Coach Ma, appreciate you. Common Sense Lab, thank you. T1, thank you. Charlie J, appreciate you. Thank you for your support. Come on. Who will law? About loyalty, baby.
I mix Nike with designer, I experiment. You just rock what's on the shelf and I'm not feeling it.
Come on.
Search for the one, but baby girl, it's nothing real.
I'm glad these credits work, baby. Too legit.
I've been really in the field, love the rush, I love the feel. Lately, I just wanna run it up.
Run it, baby.
Don't need no deals, I make the deal. Have to take it to a meal. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Yeah. Kinda check a song. Lately, I just wanna run it up.
Come on.
Count that too, count it up. Count it up. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Yeah. I just be off the dome.
Come on.
I never own no chrome.
Hey.
Too many foes and clothes. Yeah. I be at home.
Riggs! I'm getting too old for this, Riggs. No doubt, man. Appreciate y'all so much. And let me know if you guys watch Lethal Weapon this week since I've been playing that. I done seen Lethal Weapon on all type of shows now. Let's go, man. Shout out to you, Sean D. Let's get on up out of here, man. Let me slow it down just a little bit. Just a little bit, man, on my way out. What love, y'all. Play my theme music.